The year was 1912. The place was Villisca, Iowa, a small town where life was simple and folks knew their neighbors. But on a Sunday morning in June, the peace was shattered. An unspeakable horror had visited Villisca. The Moore family was found brutally murdered in their home. Josiah and Sarah, along with their 4 children, were silenced by an unknown hand. Their deaths sent shockwaves through the town. The murders were a terrifying intrusion of violence. The brutality captured the nation's attention. Newspaper headlines screamed of the Villisca Axe murders. The crime scene was chilling. The family and 2 young guests were bludgeoned to death. An axe, found blood-stained, was the murder weapon. The killer moved through the house methodically. The darkness that descended upon Villisca that night was chilling. The details of the murders painted a horrific picture of that fateful night. The killer entered silently as the family slept, their guard down. The axe, meant for chopping wood, became an instrument of death. The victims, caught unawares in their slumber, didn't stand a chance. Every room held the silent testament of the horror. Josiah, Sarah, their children, and 2 young guests, all victims. Valuables were left untouched. This wasn't a robbery. It was a calculated act of violence, defying rational explanation. The killer was meticulous in his grisly business. Doors locked, windows covered, suggesting familiarity with the house. The axe, wiped clean, was left as a chilling calling card. News of the murders spread like wildfire, casting a pall over Villisca and its neighboring towns. The investigation, launched immediately, was met with a flurry of dead ends and conflicting testimonies. Everyone was a suspect, their secrets whispered in hushed tones. The tight-knit community, once a source of comfort, became a breeding ground for suspicion and paranoia. A traveling preacher, known to be in town at the time of the murders, became an early suspect. His odd behavior and quick departure fueled the rumor mill. Then there was the prominent businessman, harboring a dark secret, an alleged affair with Josiah's wife. The whispers pointed to a crime of passion, a jealous rage that ended in bloodshed. Even Josiah's own brother came under scrutiny. The 2 had a history of bad blood, a simmering feud over business dealings. Could this have been the motive behind the murders? The investigation, hampered by the limitations of the time and the small-town dynamics, struggled to separate fact from fiction. Every new lead seemed to evaporate into thin air, leaving behind more questions than answers. The Villisca Axe murders, much like other unsolved crimes, became fertile ground for speculation. Theories ranging from the plausible to the bizarre took root in the collective imagination of the public. Some whispered of a shadowy figure, an itinerant serial killer who preyed on unsuspecting families, leaving a trail of blood across the heartland. One name that echoed through the decades was that of Henry Lee Moore, a serial killer who, years later, confessed to an eerily similar crime in Kansas, using an axe as his weapon of choice. The modus operandi, the chilling similarities, were hard to ignore. Could Henry Lee Moore be the phantom that haunted Villisca? Despite compelling circumstantial evidence, the link remained tenuous, a frustratingly incomplete puzzle piece. Other theories ventured into the realm of the supernatural. The brutality of the crime, the lack of a clear motive, and the sheer randomness of it all led some to believe that darker forces might be at play. The whispers spoke of an ancient Indian burial ground upon which the Moore house was built, and the restless spirits seeking retribution. In the years following the murders, the Moore house stood vacant, a grim reminder of the tragedy that had unfolded within its walls. It was as if the house itself had absorbed the horror, becoming a vessel for the residual energy of that fateful night. Stories began to circulate of strange occurrences, unexplained noises, and chilling apparitions witnessed by those brave enough to step inside. Psychics and paranormal investigators flocked to the house, drawn by its dark history and the persistent rumors of ghostly activity. They spoke of cold spots, sudden drops in temperature, and disembodied voices whispering in the dead of night. Objects were said to move on their own, furniture creaking under unseen weight. Visitors claim to have felt unseen hands on their shoulders, a palpable sense of dread washing over them as they walked through the rooms where the Moore family had been murdered. Children, believed to be more sensitive to the spirit world, reportedly refused to enter the house, sensing an unseen presence that chilled them to the bone. Section 6. A pilgrimage for the curious and the thrill-seeking. Today, the Villisca Axe Murder House stands as a macabre tourist attraction, a place where true crime enthusiasts and paranormal investigators converge to experience its chilling aura. No longer a place of quiet mourning, it has been transformed into a museum, frozen in time, with each room preserved as it was found on that fateful day in 1912. Visitors can walk through the house, their footsteps echoing in the silence, imagining the horror that unfolded within those very walls. They can stand in the rooms where the family slept, their beds still made as if waiting for their return. The air is thick with a palpable sense of sadness and unease, a weight that settles upon visitors as they navigate the narrow hallways and peer into the darkened corners. For the truly adventurous, the house offers overnight stays. Groups can spend the night within its walls, armed with EMF readers and audio recorders, hoping to capture evidence of the paranormal activity that has made Villisca synonymous with the supernatural. Sleep, for most, is fleeting and filled with unsettling dreams, their senses on high alert for any sign of the unseen guests that are said to roam the halls. Section 7. Where true crime meets the supernatural. The enduring fascination with the Villisca Axe murders lies in its unique position at the intersection of true crime and the paranormal. It is a case that defies easy categorization, a haunting blend of historical tragedy and unexplained phenomena that continues to capture the imagination. On one hand, it is a cold case, a brutal crime that has eluded justice for over a century. The lack of a definitive answer, the absence of a culprit brought to justice, continues to gnaw at the collective consciousness, a reminder that some mysteries may never be solved. The human element of the story, the senseless loss of life, the shattered innocence, resonates deeply, fueling our desire to understand the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of seemingly ordinary lives. On the other hand, the paranormal activity reported at the house adds another layer of intrigue. The stories of ghostly encounters, the unexplained phenomena witnessed by visitors and investigators alike, tap into our primal fear of the unknown. It is a reminder that there are forces beyond our comprehension, realities that exist outside the realm of our senses, and that perhaps death is not the end, but merely a transition to another plane of existence. Section 8. Villisca, forever haunted by an unsolved crime. The town of Villisca, forever linked to the horrific events of 1912, wears its tragic past like a shroud. The axe murders are not just a historical footnote, they are woven into the fabric of the town's identity, a chilling reminder of the darkness that once visited their doorstep. The legacy of the murders is a complex one. While some residents would prefer to forget the past, to move on and let the sleeping dogs lie, others recognize the hold it has on the public imagination. The influx of tourists drawn by the macabre allure of the murder house has brought much-needed revenue to the town, a double-edged sword that simultaneously benefits and burdens its inhabitants. For those who live in the shadow of the Moore house, the past is never truly gone. It lingers in the air, a silent specter that walks beside them. The stories are passed down through generations, a cautionary tale whispered around campfires, a reminder that even in the heartland, darkness can find a foothold. Section 9. The Lingering Enigma. A case that continues to haunt. The Villisca Axe murders remain an unsolved mystery, a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of everyday life. The passage of time has done little to diminish the fascination with this case. If anything, the mystery has deepened, fueled by speculation, paranormal theories, and the enduring human need to find answers. Were the murders the work of a deranged drifter, a cold-blooded killer passing through their lives like a phantom in the night? Or was it someone closer to home, a member of the community harboring a dark secret, their motive buried beneath layers of time and speculation? The answers, elusive and frustratingly out of reach, continue to tantalize us, urging us to delve deeper into the annals of this haunting case. The Villisca Axe murders serve as a stark reminder that some questions may never have answers. They are a testament to the enduring power of mystery, the allure of the unknown, and the unsettling truth that some crimes etched in blood and shrouded in darkness may forever remain unsolved.